Rest your bruised and broken feet on my head. You've conquered this heart on my Jesus. Rest your
Monday in Holy Week. From glad hosannas to shouts of crucify, from the joy of Palm Sunday to the sorrow of the cross, there seems such a gulf, doesn't there? Such a massive shift in people's responses and the emotions associated with them. Yet, of course, the dichotomy is more apparent than real, for Jesus was welcomed as an earthly king rather than a suffering Messiah, as one who came to rule, not serve, to conquer, not die. Actions speak louder than words, and this week is full of actions. Acts of kindness and generosity, acts of remembrance, and acts of betrayal and sacrifice. Without words, Mary knew instinctively that Jesus was reaching a critical moment in his ministry, and rather than offer him empty cliches, she wanted to show him how special he was to her. So she poured out the costliest thing she possessed, her rare and precious perfume. Unbeknown to her, her actions spoke more deeply, foreshadowing an even costlier sacrifice and the way that Jesus' body would soon be anointed again in readiness for burial. Mary's simple and impulsive action points to Christ's love for you and asks simultaneously, what response will you make to him?
Inspire us again through your awesome sacrifice, so that we may receive you more fully into our hearts and commit ourselves afresh to your service. Amen.
Six days before the Passover, Jesus came to Bethany, the home of Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. There they gave a dinner for him. Martha served, and Lazarus was one of those at the table with him. Mary took a pound of costly perfume made of pure nard, anointed Jesus' feet, and wiped them with her hair. The house was filled with the fragrance of the perfume. But Judas Iscariot, one of his disciples, the one who was about to betray him, said, "Why was this perfume not sold for 300 denarii, and the money given to the poor?" He said this not because he cared about the poor, but because he was a thief. He kept the common purse, and used to steal what was put in it. Jesus said, "Leave her alone. She bought it so that she might keep it for the day of my burial. You always have the poor with you, but you do not always have me." When the great crowd of Jews learned that he was there, they came not only because of Jesus, but also to see Lazarus, whom he had raised from the dead. So the chief priests planned to put Lazarus to death as well, since it was on account of him that many of the Jews were deserting and were believing in Jesus. And now a meditation of Mary, the sister of Martha and Lazarus, taken from Nick Fawcett's book, No Ordinary Man.
I'd scrimped and saved for that perfume, for it spoke of luxury, style, sophistication. It was my chance to be a lady, to turn heads, walk tall. Yet having made it mine, I gave it away in a single extravagant gesture, an outpouring of love. Profligate, some called it, headstrong folly, and yes, maybe it was over the top, yet it seemed natural at the time. for I wanted to offer Jesus something special. Not just any old gift, but one of real value, speaking straight from the heart. So I took that perfume and anointed his feet, wiping them clean with my hair. You should have smelt the place, overpowering all what? Like a brothel, I thought, a boudoir, a place of burial. And that latter thought clearly struck Jesus, for he spoke suddenly of death, of being taken from us, almost as though he were already a corpse, and I the embalmer. We were shocked, stunned, dismissing the idea as nonsense. But a week later he was dead, cut down from a cross and sealed in a tomb, anointed for burial again. It had seemed costly, that gift of mine, an example of self-denial, but suddenly it felt pathetically small, for the true sacrifice was his. I'd offered a little, he'd given his all.
Lord, I want to lay
Lord Jesus Christ, teach us more about the way you walked, the path of love, service, mercy and compassion. Remind us of your openness to all, your willingness to give and go on giving. Remind us of your humility, the way you put others before yourself. Help us to understand how much you surrendered, how much you cared and continue to care. And may that knowledge inspire us in turn to consecrate our lives to your kingdom, seeking always and in everything to know and do your will. Amen.
Rest your bruised and broken feet on my head. You've conquered this heart on my cheek.